All right.
Hi, everybody. It's Linda G. Comanche Psycho. We're here with Colleen Pearl. Colleen or Colin?
Colleen. Yeah.
Colleen.
Hmm.
Also, as you know, her cool Crone.
Yeah. Try.
And I was kind of shouting out for astrologers because Andre was gone for a while and she came forward, and our other guest last week came forward. She's at Cool Crone on YouTube, and I'll also post it below, but you can reach her at thecoolcrone.com, her website, to schedule a reading.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, girlfriend.
Absolutely.
So
Okay.
yeah, we'll do the way you feel comfortable in order. You looked up so many charts. I'm so honored. Thank you.
Ah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So should we start off with our president and just see what he's going to be
Yes.
about?
How's he doing?
Okay. All right. So I got him up, and let me do a share screen. Oh, you gotta enable me to share. So
Oops, sorry.
let's see. It's probably down at the bottom toolbar, maybe all the way to the right, maybe.
Okay.
There might be dots, or if you have a security badge there, you might click on the security badge, and that would allow you to let me share.
Okay. Where in the world? There's two dots here. Okay, let me put this on pause. Hi, everybody. We're back. Sorry.
All right, so you can see the screen now,
Yes.
the chart. Okay, so this is our beloved president. And what I did is I juxtaposed a bunch of people's chart to the upcoming eclipse at the end of October. There's going to be two eclipses in October, one about midway through on the new moon, and then one on the full moon on October 28th, real close to Halloween. And really close to when, if they do those cases in Georgia, if they do start in November, this will kind of kick it off, this eclipse. So here's Joe. And, he just has such lovely energy in all of his stuff for the next few years. There's never anything really horrible going on for him, I don't think. He's got, he just skated with this full moon. He just skated by having a little kerfuffle here with his Jupiter and moon, although Jupiter and moon would be very beneficial for him, but they would have made him very sensitive because they'd be right on his natal moon. But he has Mars and Mercury and this little asteroid series going into his 12th house. So I'm going to say he might have maybe some digestive issues going on after the eclipse or right during the eclipse. He may want to take a look at those things. But he has planets in the 12th house, though. So he is used to working with this energy. And part of what just makes him such a lovely person is he has Venus and the sun right on top of his rising sign. So when you meet him, you meet his heart. You also meet Joe Biden, the legacy, the man, his son, his chi, his life force. So that's overwhelming. I mean, when you meet somebody like that, and think of all the years of experience he has. I mean, this guy, we think of people being in their prime, like in their 40s, maybe 50s. This guy's still in his prime. He is still bringing it. And he's a Scorpio. He's got that beautiful, secretive Scorpio energy that has risen to a very high level. Like his spirituality is really a part of his soul. It's really a part of him. And that's also what you meet when you meet him. So people who get the chance to meet him live and in person, I think just get a huge dose of love, basically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like if you read the articles of all the people from Maui who just recently met him, they were blown away with love. And that's him. That's what he brings. That's his ball game.
Right.
Now, during the eclipse, like I said, he will have a few little things going on, but this Mars and Mercury in his 12th house, also at the time of the eclipse, is going to give him time to think about some of the issues of the day. Think about Ukraine, think about Zelensky, think about what just happened in Russia, and just kind of go into himself, because he's a smart guy. He's dealt with a lot of stuff in his life. So when he really contemplates on something, he usually comes up with these great ideas. I mean, look at all the stuff that he's accomplished so far, and most of it without a blip on the radar until it's done.
Exactly.
I'm just like, I love that. That is so Scorpio, and I'm just so happy that he's in the White House. Now, the sun, which is, really brings when it's the sun transiting in the sky, not just your sun that you're born with, but when it's the sun transiting in the sky, it usually bestows confidence, well-being, a sense of good health, even rewards and accolades. So there's going to be another wonderful thing that he does that kind of goes under the radar that people don't notice. And then when the sun comes out the other side, so long about, I'm going to say Thanksgiving into December, we're going to hear that Joe Biden pulled off some amazing thing again. So look for December, and especially maybe even over Thanksgiving weekend, instead of Black Friday, you're going to hear about Joe Biden, and you're going to hear some amazing thing that he did again.
Awesome.
Yeah, and he's got the Venus right on top of his midheaven there for the eclipse. So this is probably the timing of when he's getting what he wants, what he really, really wants.
You
And
don't think they're going to shut down the government or try, and he's able to finagle something?
he's probably going to finagle because he's got Uranus here in his sixth house, which is his daily work. It's going through his house for his daily routine, his daily work. And, as far as he's concerned, that just doesn't fly, that stuff with shutting down the government. That's just crapola. What are the Republicans doing that they're too busy to attend to getting the government to run? I mean, really?
Oh, no, Jordan is out there, but wanting all the information from Fani. He wants all the information, and if she worked with Jack Smith. I said, yeah, whatever, nothing burger.
Yeah, and he has no jurisdiction. He has no power over them whatsoever. So that's just definitely a nothing burger.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much Papa Joe. He's just doing great. I mean, he's having challenges. He's the president. What president doesn't have challenges? And I do think that some of the things that come about during this eclipse, and it might be him making really hard decisions and having to deliver tough news to the United States. These are going to be some of the things that he goes down in history for, because Saturn is opposing his North Node. That's his legacy. That's his mission, his history in life. And Saturn is tough. You could say this is a bad thing, but I don't know. Joe has so many other positive things going on for this eclipse, and just in general, that I think he's going to make some kind of deal or legislation or something right around this time. And again, we may not hear about it. It may be secret. And then we'll hear about it about a month or so later, and everybody will go, whoa, how did he do that? So
right.
He's just amazing. All right. So let me see if I can pull up somebody else here. Let's see. I've got, that was Joe. And now I'm going to do, okay, speaking of Fani, let's do Fani, okay?
Okay, great.
All right. Might as well just get to the meat and potatoes of everything.
I'll tell you, that's the stuff everybody loves.
I know, right? And she is, oh, wow, that's teeny. Let's bring that up in size there. It's a little too big. Okay. Is that big enough?
That's beautiful, thanks.
Okay. All right. So Fani, at the time of this eclipse, like I said, if they are going ahead with the Ken Cheeseborough request to do a speedy trial in November, then this will be the eve, the dawn of that, because it's the very end of October. And again, for her chart, I have guessed. I just outright guessed at her time. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. This is the 12 time, the 1201. Okay, now I think what did I say? I think she has like a Gemini rising. Yeah. Is she on the inside and the things on the outside? Yeah.
Oh, she's a beginning Scorpio.
Yeah, she's a beginning Scorpio. Scorpios do all right with our country. Our country is a Cancer country, a water sign like Scorpio. So Scorpios do really, really well. And also having the Gemini rising puts a lot of stuff in her 10th house, making her a person who is in the public eye. And obviously, this is her karma. This is her destiny to be in the public eye. This is, one of the most consequential lawsuits in our time, maybe in our country.
And she comes in with a passion on it too.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
didn't appreciate what they did to that mother and daughter, not at all.
no, and I'm so glad that she's including them in this thing. That's
Yeah,
so,
she decided,
so
I
important.
even see her telling them, or telling whoever's talking to them, tell her we're gonna make sure this is addressed, that those women that went in there, they're being
Yep.
handled.
Yeah, yeah. And not just Rudy Giuliani, but yeah, like you're talking about the woman who talked her into the police station and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so important too. So, Fani is she's having a day on this eclipse. She's got the transiting sun on her sun, because this is happening right around her birthday. Her birthday is the 27th of October. And although this isn't exactly on her birthday, this eclipse, because it's so close to her birthday, is going to affect her whole year. And so it's good that the planets are pretty good for her. The sun is on her sun. You really can't ask for anything more. I mean,
So
that's
they're talking about getting her out or removing her.
yeah, that's not going to happen. No,
Okay,
this is her moment in history. That
Okay.
nobody's pushing her off the bench. No,
Well,
no.
Kemp, even though he doesn't like Trump, although he said he'd vote for him, I don't think he'll get rid of her.
Mm-mm. I think they have to pay a certain amount of lip service to whatever Trump says until, he gets all dotty in the head and gets, locked up, or a straitjacket or a rubber room or whatever they do with him, because he is dangerous and you don't want to get on the wrong side of him. Now, she's got a lot of power here. She's got Mars and Mercury on top of her Mercury. So her words, powerful. If
Okay.
she has to come out of the box in November, first of all, she's totally ready. She's already told us that. She's totally ready. No need to wait. So Ken Cheese Bro, or whatever his name is, Burger, with your big like, oh, well, I want a speedy trial right now, thinking that that's going to scare somebody, get over yourself.
Did
It's
he
not
really
scaring
pull
it.
that to think he really thought he could pull that?
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
he pissed Trump off too. Trump doesn't want a speedy trial.
no, no, but he thought Ken Cheesebro, I think, because he's an attorney too, and I think he's thinking, okay, I'll pull legal shenanigans on you, but a Scorpio is always going to win over a Leo any day of the week. I'm sorry, but a Scorpio is just a super powerful sign. So she's gonna, not only is she gonna win, but I'm gonna say if she does any opening arguments, say in the first week of November, they're going to go down in history as some of the most powerful words anybody's ever heard.
Awesome.
I mean,
Awesome.
she's got it all in spades here. Now, she's got Pluto coming up to transit some other natal planets, but Pluto moves so slow. This is going to be like decades before it gets into this thing. So I'm not even going to talk about that. Saturn is nicely past most of her natal planets. So Saturn is not giving her any problems really at this point. Let me just double check the degrees here. So it's at 0. Yeah, it's trining her sun, which is excellent. And it's not going to really touch anything else bad. So yeah, she's cool. She's really, really cool. Oh, it's going to square her Saturn, her Pluto. You see Pluto square Pluto. You know what? It is going to be a challenge there for her, but I'm going to say that because she's a Scorpio and all her other planets are so strong, that even though it is a challenge for her, that it fuels her. It gives her more ambition, and also it allows her to feel the historical moment of it all.
Wow.
That she is a part of history. So cool. Yeah, and I wish all this stuff was calculated onto her, what I think is her rising sign, but that's okay. So this would put some of these planets, the moon and Jupiter and Uranus, coming into her 12th house for the eclipse, and her node. So there's a lot that's going to be going on in this case that is probably going to be hidden from the public, cameras or not. I do think there'll be cameras in the courtroom, but I do think there's a lot of stuff.
They said there will be cameras.
Yeah, but I think they'll also have to make accommodations for certain things that should be private.
Okay.
And I think they'll take as many precautions as they can to protect identities of innocent, like the jury people and some of the witnesses and stuff like that. They'll do as much as they can to protect that. But I think I think it's good that the American people get to see it, but it's also dangerous in the climate that we're in.
Right.
All right, let's see what we got with Jack. Okay, here's Jack. Let me just make that a little bit bigger. There we go. So Jack, so I have pretended that Jack has the very end of Aries rising, almost into Taurus. That puts the Venus and Saturn in his first house. Venus makes him attractive. Saturn makes him serious as a heart attack. And I think that's him. I think that's what he really is.
Oh, well,
So,
by the way, someone wrote me that went to school with him and said he was a straight A student.
oh, of course. Of course. And also though, he brings a little charm with it. You know,
Uh-huh.
he's not like mean or, churlish or anything, he brings charm with it, which doesn't hurt his cases, that
Right,
helps his cases.
right.
He's got the moon up here in the 11th house, and this is him with his sports and stuff. He's got a lot of nice planets here, making him an athlete and all of that
Oh,
stuff.
it definitely is that.
Yeah, and the eclipse is going to put planets, if I'm right about his rising sign, that it puts the moon, Jupiter, and Uranus in his first house. So if he's got cases starting up um, right around the time of the eclipse, or even if just motions are being served or papers are being filed or other cases are coming up, he's ready. He's super
Okay.
ready. He's powerful. He's got the right words, everything. He's got it there. Pluto, if I'm right about his rising sign, Pluto is transiting his 10th house. So again, another person that really understands the historical moment that he's in. He really understands that this is it. Now, where's his north node? Yeah, it's over there by the rising sign. The north node is transiting his rising sign. His natal north node is going into the 12th house. So he's entering a period of his life, I feel, where he's, coming more into the public eye. He spent many years not really hiding, but just doing, what he knew was the path that he had to tread. Now, interestingly, the nodes move backwards, right? So I'm talking about this little thing that looks like headphones. So his node had been traveling for years through his 12th house, and 12th house is foreign countries. And he did go work in foreign countries. So
Isn't
he
that
knew
something?
that that was a part of his path. And so he did that. Now, Saturn is going to be coming more into the 11th house here for him. And that's thankfully past his natal moon. So it's not like making him depressed or making him feel bad or making him doubt himself. He's all past that stuff. So these are really good planetary things. His if I'm right again about the rising sign, then his sun is going through his 7th house with a couple of other planets, Mercury and Mars, again making his words very powerful. But what I love about those planets there is that the partnership that he's working with is his team of the other prosecutors and the ones who are helping him prosecute these cases, tight as a drum, smart as whips, strong, just as committed as he is, take no prisoners. I mean, these people are committed to him. He's a fantastic leader. He's an amazing leader as well as an amazing prosecutor because he's so damn smart. Mercury and Scorpio. I just described this in one of my last astrology videos. This is the mind like a steel trap through your whole life, not just when you get old, but all his life he's had this incredible intelligence that is bolstered by Mars, which is his energy, his heart, his chi. His son's there too, his heart. So he has an incredible feeling of destiny about him, even if he didn't know what his destiny was. Now he knows what it is,
Yeah.
all this other
Well,
stuff.
look at what he did in The Hague. I mean, this guy knows his stuff.
Yeah, he really knows his
He
stuff.
believes in justice.
Yes. Yes, justice. So strong in his chart. Okay, so let's go to, oh, we did Joe.
Chris Christie.
Yeah, oh, there he is. There's Chris Christie. Let's go to Chris Christie. So Chris Christie actually, he's gonna hang out in this race for the presidential nomination for a while. The eclipse is not great for him, but it's not going to bring him down. I predict that when Saturn hits his Saturn or hits his what did I figure out? In March of 2024, that's when I think he's gonna drop out of the race. That's when I think something aspects his Saturn. I can't remember which planet I was looking at, but it had to do with Saturn. And in March, it gets to a particular position where I'm thinking, I think his money will dry up. I think he'll decide, this is it. But right now, he's flying high. He's got Venus that just went over his sun and Pluto in the 10th house. That's being visible in the public eye. That's his career. That's his legacy. And having Venus there is very nice. Plus, he has wonderful support from his wife. That shows up with the little asteroid Juno. He's got the sun, and we have a time for him. So I know this is his rising sign. He's got all these planets, all these red planets coming up on his rising sign. And
what's his rising sign?
His rising sign is Scorpio. He's a Virgo with Scorpio rising. Yeah. And his moon is in Sagittarius. So this is where he gets along well with Trump. Now, he also has, like Trump, he has a sun very close to Uranus, but not as close as Trump. So he isn't completely committed to Crazy Town. He's more like, let me get the inspiration. Let me be a little offbeat. Let me not be afraid to say the truth. That's really what he's about. So he wants to say the truth. And that moon in Sag can't help but say the truth. This is kind of a hallmark of people with moon in Sag. And the moon's in his first house. And he's got kind of that moon look to his face. He's got kind of a full face and stuff like that. And he is a little bit of a bigger man now that he's getting older. And he's always been actually pretty big. And that's another thing with moon in the first house. So I think this is a very valid birth time for him. But he's got Mercury and Mars is conjunct for everybody. And it continues to be conjunct right around this eclipse. And this is in his 12th house, thank goodness, because for Trump, it's motor mouth. He can't stop himself. He just has to express himself. For Christie, it hits his Neptune, which is, maybe I better keep a secret here. So for him, it is giving the energy of, I have a secret and I want to do something about it, but he has the discipline to be able to hold back. And he knows that there's strength in those secrets. So he's going to play that for all it's worth. He was a very successful prosecutor in AG in New Jersey for many years. And people really respected and feared him. Him. He was a scary dude. Now, here's something else that's interesting about Christie's chart. You know, he's had a lot of gaffes in his career. He had that like Bridgegate thing where he shut down the George Washington Bridge.
And he was involved with that. I don't care.
He definitely was involved with that. And what he has in his chart that allows him to keep coming back is this Chiron and Jupiter is Chiron is the wounded healer. It's where you have a trauma or a weakness in your chart, that something you have to kind of cure. But Jupiter is there. So what I'm thinking is that this kind of creates a self-healing apparatus in Christie. And no matter what happens in the public, he can rehabilitate himself and come back. And that's what he's done over and over and over. Right. So, you know, that's
last night I taped it, but because I wanted to see him, but he was unimpressive. I'll tell you who was impressive was why did I just go blank on her name? The only female there.
Haley, Nikki Haley.
She was impressed. She would made sense. The first thing he started doing was talking about what Christie started doing was talking about Hunter Biden. I'm like, really? You're going there?
Are you kidding?
No.
Oh, God.
Well, and we need to, what is this with Hunter Biden being able to do this and that? Whatever, dude.
Oh my gosh. It's so apples and oranges. It's just so stupid. I mean, have they, you can't cure stupid. That's the problem.
No, stupid is as stupid does.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I had another one here. Here's another guy who's going to fall on his face. Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, thank you.
So Ron DeSantis, we have no time for him. And literally people have no time for him.
I heard he lost last night, big time.
Oh, big time. Yeah, that's the headlines I heard too. You know, during this eclipse, he's going to get hammered quite a bit. He's got some planets really dumping on the eclipse planets are really dumping on him. his little heart's going to get broken. He's going to feel like nobody loves him. And he too is going to succumb to the motor mouth, and he's going to start spouting things that are just dumb, just dumb. Now, 8 a.m. I don't know if that's a good time or not. That might be an actual good time. Oh yeah, that is a pretty good time for him. So if he has Libra rising, that's an air sign like Gemini. And you remember at one point in time, he was buddy with Trump.
Yeah.
Trump loves to have these guys around with Libra rising. I don't know what's with him. Like Giuliani has it, Lindsay has it. I think even Kevin McCarthy has. I mean, he just loves these sycophants, with Libra rising. And I think Ron DeSantis is one of those. So whatever made DeSantis think that he could run for president, I don't know, because it's just not going to work. Now, Ron has an Aquarius moon, and this makes him another link with Trump, really, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, the planet Uranus, and that's what Trump has so close to his sun that makes him a member of Crazy Town, but also it makes him like other people who are members of Crazy Town, like Ron DeSantis. So I feel like DeSantis is kind of masquerading as a crazy person just to be in Trump's good graces. But, the chickens are going to come home to roost. He's actually a Virgo, and his sun, if this is a good birth time, his sun is connected to the North Node right over his ascendant. So this is another person who really believes in their mission, who really feels like they were put on Earth to do something special. I think the special thing might be to, have this lawsuit with Disney, but that I don't think it's to be president is my point. So this eclipse is in some ways good for him and in some ways bad for him. He'll feel like his money is good, but he'll also need to spend a lot of money. So I've heard that his campaign, he's had to let people go, and he doesn't have enough money to do things. And I think that at the time of the eclipse, I think what's going to happen is he's going to have money coming in the coffers, but it goes right out again to pay his bills.
Okay.
And I think, unfortunately, he's going to try to stay in the race for a little while longer. He just doesn't get the message yet. And he may stay in for a lot longer just because he's got the name recognition. And
well, he's thinking if Trump gets kicked to the side, he's the next person in line, but he's not.
Exactly. That's what he really believes, and that's why he wants to stay in.
Yeah.
And, as far as becoming a president, I don't see it in his chart. I don't see the little bits and pieces. Not that there's a formula. I mean, I actually did a whole survey of presidents that had won and lost, or people who had won and lost the presidency. And what did the people who won have in common? So I'm going to do a video about that because I think it's really interesting astrologically. What do they have? What's that magic dust that makes them able to win? And I think no matter what, this guy's not going to win.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. All right. And then, of course, we have to go to Rudolph Giuliani, who had the beautiful surrender in Georgia and had to talk to the cameras and say the same old crap that we've heard over and over again. I put away all the mafia guys. And Rudy, that's like going on 30 years ago. Like, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
So this eclipse is not going to be horrible for him, but it's not going to be super kind either. He's got a bunch of planets that are going to square the eclipse planets. So he's going to be feeling the heat. He's really going to be feeling it. So if they do go with a November trial date in Georgia, I'm afraid that Rudy might be one of the ones they pull in.
Okay.
I mean, what would be their criteria? Would they just say, okay, just Ken Cheeseburger goes in November? No, they got 19 people to get through. They're going to take, although, Rudy at this point is such low level fruit. I think he's going to end up with a public defender.
Oh, really?
Well, he doesn't have any money.
Trump's throwing him a big event, $100,000 a plate.
Good.
His thing to get him money. He probably went in there and threatened to spill And Trump finally said, fine, I'll do an event.
Okay, so that's good. So let's see, is there money in this? Does he get money? Not there. Well, yeah, okay. So that's a little money there. But here's a lot of spending right here. So it's gonna go, I mean, he's got legal bills, I heard, in the 7 figures. Like he's
Well,
got,
Trump,
oh,
I don't know if Trump got rid of his staff or his staff left, because I heard he's still getting lots sued for not paying. He's not paying his attorneys.
Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he got a new attorney.
yeah. I heard that. I wrote it down. It said Trump is hiring Steve Sadow, a criminal defense attorney in Atlanta, um, for the arraignment that's going to take place on the Labor Day week,
Yeah.
September 5th. So he just fires the ones he hasn't paid and hires new ones. But don't they ask up front for money? I mean,
Oh, he gave them all a big deposit, but they're already going through the money and they're
Yeah.
asking for more. You know what he does? He acts like, well, you didn't get me off and I still being arrested, so F you.
Yeah. He's really cuckoo like that. Like that's just not how it works in the real world. Like you still have to pay your bills.
Well, he's about ready to find out.
Yeah, and I guess all the like the maintenance worker guy and the IT guy flipped, and the maintenance worker guy, did he flip? I think
I
he
don't
flipped
know.
too. But Walt Nauta is turning out to be odd man out in the corner.
Yeah.
Like he should flip, and I think he will. I think Walt Nauta's gonna flip.
Okay.
I
You've
think
heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, because what has he got? Like, does he really want to live his life in prison? I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, I
cuckoo.
know.
So Rudy is, Rudy is Rudy. He's not doing too well. And he's also a member of Crazy Town with that Sun Uranus conjunction here. And
Right.
he's just it's just no bueno for Rudy. It's just
No
no
bueno.
no, but he might get some money from Trump. This looks like he might get a little money from Trump, but as soon as he gets it, he owes it. So, ladies and gentlemen, his townhouse in New York is still going to be up for sale.
And I think he's actually going to have to do jail time.
I do too. I do too. And I think it might be good for him because he'll have, free rehab right there. He can dry himself out. And I think
roof over his head, 3 squares a day.
There you go. And he doesn't have to worry about the ex-wives anymore. He can just kick back in prison.
He can't make alimony because he has no more money.
No, but I think that either right before he actually passes, and I have no idea when he's going to pass, but before he passes or right after, I think there's going to be a memoir written that he tells the truth. I do, because look at the transition this man went through from prosecuting the mafia to pretty much becoming the mafia.
Did you see, was it Netflix? Somebody had
Yes. Yes, I saw.
Kind of underhanded, and it was always about him.
Why do you think him and Trump are so chummy?
Oh, yeah.
They're birds of a feather. They are absolutely birds of a feather. They're both Geminis. They both have the sun connected to their Uranus.
Cohen said that he's not close to him, really. Trump talks trash about, of course, Trump talks trash. He talks trash about Roger Stone and Giuliani.
Yeah, he does. And, maybe it's because they're so much alike. Maybe he feels like brotherly with them, like, he's comfortable.
Because Trump is not close to anybody except his daughter, maybe.
No, he's not. He doesn't have empathy. He can't feel those normal feelings that other people can.
Yeah.
So, that's what's going on there. I think that's all my charts. I think.
No, you were going to do Vedic or Vedic.
Oh yeah. I couldn't find his. Did I find him? Yes, I did. Okay. Yeah. I just didn't bring it up here. Let me go to my other screen here and I will bring him up.
Okay.
Here we go.
This has been very informative.
Here he is. Let's do let's do this with the eclipse. So that's full moon, October lunar eclipse. There we go. And make sure it's landscape. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, so I don't have a time for him, but I'm guessing that he's probably Leo rising, and that would put his sun, Mars, and Mercury in the first house. We see that he likes to talk. He's a motor mouth. And he's, he looks fairly athletic, he's pretty strong, thin looking, but he has that Leo tell, which is a gigantic head. Not just, not just that he has a big ego, but just literally he has a big head. And so
Right.
I'm going to say the Leo rising, which would put Venus in his either 11th or 12th house, probably his 12th house. So, and he has money. He has made a tremendous amount of money in his life. He's educated at both Yale and Harvard. I mean, got to have money for that. He's the son of immigrants, and I know that.
He also has been making money underhandedly.
Ah, yeah, I bet he
So,
has.
in fact, there's some lawsuit right now, not in this country. They're saying that's why he ran for president, so he could not show up for this lawsuit.
Oh, like Trump. Very interesting. So during the eclipse for Mr. Ramaswamy, if we kind of tilt this, we'll see that this is probably, if this is his rising, then this is going to be his midheaven. So he's probably got the moon and Jupiter right around his midheaven, which is his publicity, what's public for him in his life. And then in his personal life, he's got this other jazz going on. So I'm going to, and it's square Pluto too. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that some of those dark underhanded shenanigans could come to light around the time of the eclipse. He could be exposed for the kind of double dealer that he is, because he has been involved in a lot of different businesses that involve investments and also research and scientific things. And we've had a few big lawsuits against people who have done that in recent, like that woman that had the DNA thing, like she's in jail now. And even Elon Musk, I think, is risking jail with some of the stuff that he's doing. So I don't think that this guy really has. Now, watch, in 6 months, he'll be like the lead contender for Republican nominee. But I'm going to say no. I don't think that he is going to be the president or close to the president or the nominee or anything.
Oh, he said climate change isn't real.
Yeah.
He says we need to start pumping for gas and doing all this stuff. He's just ignorant.
Yeah, and he's a big blowhard. He's got all the blowhard planets here, just like all these other guys. They all have this Mercury Mars thing close to their sun, where they just think that the sun rises and sets on them. And good for you, honey, but that isn't reality. And then
Trump will not win again. There's no way in hell he'll win again. But let me just say this. If there was ever a chance that Trump would win, which he won't, he would have this guy in his administration.
Oh, yeah. He'd make this guy head of the EPA.
He would have this guy in his administration.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that would be a disaster.
So
I think that whole lineup of the Republican debate, I think we're looking at that would be a Trump cabinet.
That would be a Trump, except for Christie. He wouldn't have.
Yep. Except for Christie. Yep.
But I just want to mention, I don't know why I got this flash just now, but I think Marjorie Taylor Greene has got a little something come up. When's the last time you looked at her?
I don't think I have a chart on her. I think, but well, let's just look really quick and see if we can find it.
A lot of reason these people are going so cray is because they know they're coming, like Jim Jordan, they're all in trouble.
Yeah, they really are. Okay, so this is her chart. It's from somebody else's website, but that's okay. So this is showing that, they're giving her a Leo rising, so they must know the time of her birth.
Yeah.
So let's see. She's got Pluto in that. Yeah, this is why she's got such a good fundraiser. She's got Pluto in the second house, so she really she attracts money like a magnet. But she's let's see, sun is not, it's in Gemini, so that's good. So Saturn is going to be here. So Saturn's going to come up on her Jupiter. That's not going to be good. That's going to really depress things for her. And Uranus right now is right up here. So that's going through her 10th house. So chaos, chaos, chaos for her for the next 2 years, I'm going to say, and probably some lawsuits. Whereas Pluto was going to be over here. Get these stupid ads out of here.
I know.
Can you please? There we go. At least we got that one out. So Pluto's over here, right across from Mars. No bueno. Having Pluto oppose your Mars, it's gonna enhance everything that you do impulsively that's bad. And that's what's happening with her.
Okay.
She is just a nightmare where it comes to keeping her mouth shut and doing things that are just hideous. I mean, she just does stuff that makes people cringe. So that's not really, really good. So I don't see a great future for her. And just psychically, I've just always known that somebody's going to perp walk her, right out of.
I've always felt that.
Yeah.
All these people are going to fall off the ship.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that we're going to have a very different looking Congress even before the next elections. I think it's going to change because
Wow.
I think there's going to be enough people who get indicted and actually either leave out of shame, that's only going to be 2 people because none of these Republicans know shame, but there will be a couple that leave out of shame. And then the other ones will be kind of forced out for, various other reasons. Their seats will have to be replaced. And I think that'll tip the balance of power towards the
No,
Democrats.
because I see Jack itching his hands, which means he's itching to bring these people to justice.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And he will. He is like he's like a warrior priest. This is like a holy mission for him. And it has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with right and wrong. And
I love it.
He's just really righteous about it. And he's gonna get what he wants,
I love it. I love it, girlfriend.
So there you go. Whole bunch
Thank
of charts. You're welcome. You're welcome. That was fun.
Thank you. Thank you, you guys. So I'll post how to reach you.
Okay.
Coolcrone.com.
Yeah.
And then let's do this again.
Okay.
I'll be on your show next time.
Yep. There we go.
We have to wait till I'm having my surgery, September 28th. So
yeah, and I'm doing the Ren Fair up in New York until mid-October. So probably around the time of this eclipse, that's when we should do it and see how many things came true.
Let's see how many things came true.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sweetie. Thank you guys for watching.